Well, there's bad news for some people who are on the roads today as well. It's emerged that filling up your car this Christmas costs £16 more than it did last year. Garages are refusing to cut their prices despite wholesale costs apparently dropping. The analysis shows that we pay 30p per litre more at the pumps than 12 months ago, despite wholesale petrol and diesel up just 18p. It means that the 18 million drivers on the road this Christmas may be fleeced for £2 million. Well, joining me now is Howard Cox, founder of the campaign group Fair Fuel UK. Welcome to the programme, Howard. Is it not the case that we're seeing significant inflation across many different sectors? It's not just fuel that's being hit this year, but inflation's running hot. It's over 5% across the board. Was this not to be expected?
Well, I'm afraid what causes inflation, and happy Christmas, Tom, and I'm sorry I'm wearing the same hat as you. I thought I'd join in the festivities. And happy
compulsory
Christmas,
here, compulsory.
But seriously, we've hit 5.1% inflation, and as you know, the experts, as soon as they announce this inflation figure, inevitably the next sentence, this is due to high fuel prices. And these high fuel prices are nothing but opportunistic profiteering in the fuel supply chain. We are paying something like 10 to 12p more per litre than we need be. Wholesale prices, you quite rightly pointed out, went up 18p, but we're paying 30p more per litre. And frankly, we're being taken for fools by this government. And guess what? They're enjoying £2 billion more of extra VAT because of the high prices too. We are being screwed in all directions, and it's not right, especially as the safest place to be at the moment is inside a car because of COVID.
I wonder how much of this the government is actually relaxed about. After all, we've had that big COP26 climate summit just last month where the government was very, very pleased to be saying it's going to be banning diesel and petrol cars in the not too distant future. And of course, reaping, as you rightly say, those VAT receipts from this price rise as well. Does the government just not really care that this is going to cost consumers quite a bit this Christmas?
I think in terms of the government, you're right, but backbench MPs I'm working with, people like Craig McKinley, who's chair of the all-party parliamentary group that I'm a secretary to, and Robert Halfon MP, but also a member, are not happy about this. And I can guarantee that there's a lot of backbenchers on all sides of the House who are really upset for their constituents because it is ruining their Christmas. An extra £16 in the tank, which is unnecessary, could have gone on to various things like presents and gifts and food, etc. this time. And the inflation aspect of this, it's going to get higher. We're going to hit 6% more. And it's all because, or nearly all of it, is down to this, and I repeat, this greedy fuel supply chain that the government's allowed to actually run riot. And what we need, and this is what we're calling for, is not necessarily a full-blown regulator like Ofwat or Ofcom or Ofgem. We're looking for something like a thing called Pump Watch, which just allows people to know what happens when oil goes up, what happens at the pumps, and when it comes down, what happens at the pumps in the next few weeks in terms of the price. And we're calling this Pump Watch, and we'll be fighting very hard in the new year, and we welcome GBNews getting behind this initiative.
And you say that you're talking to lots of backbenchers of all parties on this campaign. Have you spoken to ministers? Has the government itself been receptive? I mean, more information sounds like it's a very easy thing to deliver and something that people would really appreciate.
Well, the irony is that £2 billion of extra VAT, Tom, is actually equivalent to a 6p cut in fuel duty. And if they introduce a Pump Watch as well, what a popular thing for this very unpopular government at the moment. And that's what the backbenchers would like. I am meeting with ministers in the new year. Reluctantly, they're meeting with me because I'm going to give them a hard time, simply that they are taking advantage of the cash cow that is motorists. They generate fifth largest income to the Treasury every year without fail. And unfortunately, I'm all for electric vehicles and cleaner fuel technology, which should evolve without these cliff-edge targets. What we'd like to see is the government actually incentivise cleaner fuels rather than actually the carrot and stick approach. Fortunately, the 2030 ban on diesel, petrol, new vehicles isn't in legislation yet, so we'll be continuing to fight that to stop it.
It does seem bonkers that the government is relying on such high taxes on fuel at the moment at the same time as pushing for electric vehicle adoption, because ultimately if everyone buys an electric car, suddenly that's a funding stream really cut off for the government. Suddenly that's a lot less tax that they'll be taking in. Doesn't that show that they really shouldn't be relying on trying to squeeze motorists for that cash if ultimately within 10 years that will dry up anyway?
You're spot on, Tom. And the interesting thing is electric vehicles are enjoying a tax-free life, but it won't go on forever because we will move to road charging. And that means anyone that uses the roads, potentially even cyclists, will have to pay some sort of taxation. And I've been asked to work with various MPs, and I'm hopefully with the ministers, to set up a scheme that's fair for everyone. So everyone will not be paying any more tax now. And let's not forget, Tom, the UK driver is still one of the highest, if not the highest tax motorist in the world. So even though we've actually fought for the last 2 hours for freezing fuel duty, which I'm delighted that I've been part of with various MPs like Robert Halfon, the bad news is that we're still taxed to the hilt, and the government are clueless at the moment what to do.
Well, it's a tricky situation. Let's hope that there are some wins in the new year. But for now, Howard Cox, founder of the campaign group Fair Fuel UK, thank you for joining us and happy Christmas. Excellent.
Cheers, Tom.
To see
Happy Christmas
those
to you
Christmas
too,
hats.
my friend.
Thank you very much.